Hello everybody, this is Glenda again. I just gave you a big intro and it was turned off. Okay, tonight I'm going to start with the parrot. I had 3 requests after I finished that panel of birds. One's for a parrot, one's for a hummingbird, and one for a kingfisher. So I'm going to do the parrot first. That's the order they came in. I looked up, well, the parrot to me is like a paintbrush that's been kind of dipped in several different colors. And it just, I mean, they just look like a beautiful paintbrush. And the hummingbird, everybody knows, hummingbirds are so beautiful. They're so tiny, and they just, they're so fast. And they come in a variety of colors. And the other is the kingfisher. Very blue. Very, very blue. I'm going to be happy to do that one. So let's start on this. And I will tell you a story of our day. Well, I'm painting, as well as talk about the painting. I may not get the bird in tonight. I might just be doing the trees in the background. So I want to use a brown, couple different colors of green. Okay, I will use the lighter green. I'll darken it up if I need to, because I don't think it's as light as the one that I might be. If I need to darken it, I will. Okay. So, cadmium green, that's okay. The chrome is the one that gets so shiny, has like a metallic almost. Alrighty, trees aren't made of metal, at least not naturally. So I'm going to use this one. That is the cadmium. And I'll be using this one, which is a light, or it says bright yellow green. I may mix some of the darker green with it. The story. It was fun and exhausting a little bit. We got to watch our great-grandson today for a few hours. His grandmother, our daughter, she was at work. So, and our granddaughter, let's see, our daughter was at work. Our granddaughter got a job cleaning an abandoned house, and she needed somebody to watch Howard for a couple hours. He wasn't happy for a while. He's going through kind of that stranger anxiety and that separation they go through for a while. And I sat in the rocker and rocked him, and he cuddled up. He did cuddle up to me, but he just kept crying. I know what he was missing his mommy, but he was also tired. That's the one thing. If you've ever been in church on Sunday, Palm Sunday, you know what a palm frond looks like. Because when Jesus was entering the city on the colt, everybody was praising him, and they were inviting him in like he was on a donkey, and it was prophesied in the Old Testament that these things would happen. But anyway, he was let's see, they're going to overlap some, but not too bad. Anyway, that's going to be enough on that one. There's no more room. Especially once I start putting in the other stuff. Leafy type things that come out from them. Anyway, on Palm Sunday, and that is the Sunday before Easter, and we're not going to Easter, we're going to Christmas here pretty soon. But anyway, kids will come in. Generally, we have the kids come in and walk down the aisle carrying palms. Now, they're not, I don't think we have real ones. That would be very nice. But keeping them through the year, I don't know how in the world we'd do that. So, but still, it's the representation and the celebration. Anyway, he was cuddling right up to me, my great-grandson, while I was rocking him, but he kept crying. And eventually he just cried himself to sleep. I think he was both mad that his mommy had left him with us. He knows this, but not like he knows his real grandma. And he's very attached to mommy. Oh, that's almost looking messy. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like it better when they're all looking very individual and happy. But anyway, we ended up, I have some Joe gets shortbread cookies every week. I absolutely love them. They're sugar-free, but they have just enough sweetness from something, and so they're kind of crumbly, but he loved it. We've fed him one of those just a little at a time because he will take the whole thing in his mouth if you let him. Anyway, he was just so cute. After his nap, he woke up and he kind of started taking to Joe because Joe was feeding him applesauce. And once he kind of got to trusting him, he'd open up for that applesauce, and you were just happy with that. So he got his applesauce down, and Joe got out an old toy that we had not, it had been under our bed for years because we'd get several of our grandkids over and they would start playing with that toy. It's one of those kind of a learning toy. I can't think what they're called. Anyway, but they have all different kinds of sounds and buttons and stuff on them. Just anything a kid would like to play, And his name is Howard, our grandson. It was my father's name, so he's named after his great-great-grandfather. And he just, once he got his nap, he was a little happier. And like I said, then, he'd get a little upset when Joe came close, but then when he started feeding him that applesauce, that won the day for a little bit anyway. And he still wouldn't let Joe hold him. But it's kind of funny because Joe's the one that babies just absolutely love. He's like, he's almost like a baby whisperer. He could get our son to sleep when we couldn't even get him to lay down. He'd just put him in the crook of his elbow and rock him, and now off to sleep he'd go. He just got a comfortable arm. Joe got that toy out, and it's one of those where it's got things you can slide, and it'll make a noise, and you can turn a knob, and it'll make an animal noise. Push some buttons, and it'll tell you the color of the square that you pushed or what shape it was. It's just, a lot of fun things, but noisy. Those things are very noisy. My granddaughter didn't even remember it, and I said, oh, you guys played with it, but you... They were all playing on it at once, and of course, they weren't happy that the others were playing. Anyway, we had to do the same thing with the keyboard. The toy keyboard, we had to put that out. But anyway, he started having fun with that thing. He had been able to reach my computer, and he was really going to town on that keyboard, and it was like I was trying to get the screen back to what it was meant to be. Finally I did, and we just moved that out of his way. But he finally got to be a happy boy, and when his mommy got back, we figured he'd just go running to her, but no. I mean, he does walk. But no, he found out that there was some other things he still wanted to explore. And I don't think it hurt her feelings, but maybe it did a little. I don't think so. It was just kind of funny that yeah, they finally left. My granddaughter and little Howard, they finally left to go over and visit our daughter, who is his grandma. She dotes on him, just like we doted on our grandkids. He's going through a phase right now where he's not very comfortable with men. He wasn't really comfortable with me either to start with. You just kind of have to warm up during that phase. They go through, separation anxiety every time their mom leaves, but they also go through anxiety of strangers for a while. And then they get over it. Our one granddaughter, she would see me when she was, I don't know, just a baby. Probably 9 months old or so, until she was like in her 1 or so, and she would see me and she would just scream. She wanted nothing to do with me. And then she got through that after about a year, and she was my shadow. Little Deanna, she became my shadow. The younger ones, younger than her, the older ones, they took to me pretty easily. And now, I need some butterflies in here, don't I? Don't I? Well, maybe I better wait till it dries. I may kind of get that not so messy up there. But right now, this is where we are. And I'm going to stop with this for the night. And then I could have just put a great big parrot in there. But I don't know, I want it to look lifelike, you know, like he's in a habitat of some kind. So far this is what we have. So I'm going to put some butterflies in there. I think that might be nice up in those tops where, but I think I'll just make a big parrot right down in front of one of those trees. And just let him be happy right there. So, I hope you've enjoyed this tonight. Hope you've enjoyed my story about my grandson. As much as I kind of picked through it, in between everything, I get busy and forget that I was talking about him. Anyway, by the time they left, I was thoroughly worn out, but happily so. I took a nap, and now I'm fine. Had supper, so I've been fed, and this baby grandma. So we'll see you tomorrow. I hope you like where this is going. Hopefully, by the time we get done, it'll look much, much better. They generally do. Generally, by the time they're done, they're starting to look better. So, I will see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Smile and wave. There's yours. Go out and share it. Please subscribe and share and click that bell. You got to click the little bell if you want to keep getting subscribed, and the thumbs up for a like. We like likes. We like likes. Okay. And just enjoy life. It's not worth wasting it on a bunch of negative. We all have bad things that happen in our life, but we find a way to get through them. And then we can smile again.